Good day everyone. Today our test features two rods, Exterity River 13.5 with a casting weight of 150 and Exterity River 14 with a casting weight of 150. I won't go too deep into technical specifications, but just say that these are extra heavy feeder rods for working over long distances with large capacity heavy feeders loaded with wet river ground bait. The rods are rather lightweight and slim for their length and casting weight. I would say they are very slim, unusually slim for such extra heavy feeder rods. The handle is long, 500 mm. Reliable 17 size Fuji TVS reel seat for locking Daiwa Bezier 25, Shimano Ultegra 5500 or Daiwa Bezier 45. The first guide is 30 mm and it is sufficiently spaced from the reel seat. Spigot joints are cross-reinforced to withstand casts with heavy feeders of 120, 130 and 140 grams. The quiver tips are powerful. They come fitted with large diameter guides of 5 mils, which enable passing of any shock leader knots. Now I will hand the rod over to my friend for casting and demonstrating it in action. All the technical specifications you can check at our website. I didn't even assemble this rod, but I just want to show you the case. The transport length of the rod is 1 meter and 37 centimeters. The outer layer is made of Cordura fabric, a very hard-wearing fabric, which doesn't wear out. It is stitched with thread that doesn't break or get fluffy. Inside the case, there is a soft fabric to avoid wearing out the rod when unpacking or packing. The cases are very high quality and sturdy. So, shall we start with a 14-foot feeder rod? Yes, let's take the 110 grams bucket feeder. I'm not used to fishing with such powerful rods, but for the Ukrainian, Moldavian and German markets, such rods are in demand, as people often ask me to make rods with heavy casting weights for fishing on the Rhine and Danube rivers or Dnipro River in our case. For instance, Vitaly usually fishes here in Kiev with such feeder rods. He is used to fishing with huge buckets weighing 110-120 grams. He will now make a few casts and show you the rod's performance. Here I have the 14-foot rod with 150 casting weight. My go-to feeder type is Doka in 34th diameter 5 cells. I will load it with ground bait and will attempt to cast it to a clipped distance. To be honest, I don't remember the exact distance clipped. In general, I am accustomed to extra heavy feeder rods. A good hit on the clip. 110 grams feeder with a total weight, including bait, something around 150, because the bait is heavy while the feeder is a large capacity one. For our fishing conditions, the extra heavy feeder class is more usual. My main feeder rod this year was an extra heavy one, and the go-to feeder type is 110 grams Doka plus the usual distance of around 80 meters. Winding in now and we'll find out the exact clip distance. The braid I'm using is the number 1 by Japanese numeration. It is a 4-strand braid. The shock leader is Berkeley file line 0.25. Let's go to the measuring sticks. The distance between sticks is 3 meters. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, 10 sharp, plus the length of the rod, roughly speaking 93 meters to the clip. Let me remind you that I'm using the 4-strand #1 in Japanese sizing braid, which is not the best for long casts. Now I want to cast from a standing position, as extra heavy feeders are often used for flat feeder fishing. In this case, it is an empty 110 grams Doka feeder. The clip is 90 meters. I am casting while standing to demonstrate how the rod bends under a light load. In general, the rod is very soft for an extra heavy class. It unloads very easily. Breaking through the wind with this rod is much easier than with any other rod. Vitaly has shown you the rod in action using this large capacity 110 gram feeder, which holds 40 grams, meaning that the total weight was 150. I can assure you this rod works fine with a 140 grams feeder at a distance of 60 meters. That is, the rod tolerates such overloads, but it is essential to understand that when going beyond the casting weight limit, you shouldn't be doing a takeoff run in your best sports boots to perform a carp fishing cast. With a gentle and smooth cast, this rod can achieve 60 meters with the 140 grams feeder. This rod weighs 315 grams. In your hands, it doesn't feel heavy though, as the handle materials are dense. A reliable reel seat adds weight, but it also means you will never break it. This material will be looking good even in 5-6 years. EVA matagi is very dense. No other manufacturer uses EVA of the same density. As a result, the main weight is concentrated in the butt section, which enables performing of powerful long casts. Though on a river we wouldn't normally fish at 100 meters. This rod can be used for flat feeder fishing. For instance, 80 grams flat feeders easily fly to over 130 meters. However, the main function of this rod is fishing at 60 meters with large heavy feeders. On a powerful stream, the rod doesn't bend round, it holds up like a string. It is supplied with 3, 4, 5 ounces quiver tips, which have a 3.5 base diameter. They are reliable and are not prone to breaking. Prior to making my rods, I repaired a huge number of rods by other brands. In doing so, I have studied their main breakage points. This rod is impossible to break. Alright, now we will cast with my favorite extra heavy rod, that is 13.5 foot up to 150. With my height and my arm span, I simply don't like fishing with 14-foot rods. 13.5 up to 150 grams is a top-class rod. It is my favorite extra heavy rod. Just like with the previous model, here the main feeder weights are 110, 120 plus heavy river feed. The handle is long. You can order a flat design or a classic design handle. With a flat design handle, winding in is easier. Your wrist endures less burden as part of it is taken by your forearm, so when winding in a heavy feeder, you will feel less fatigue in the wrist. The classic handle is not cylindrical in an ordinary way, but rather from the reel seat it narrows slightly and becomes wider again in the end. Such a beautiful, slim-fitting shape. Some people like classic handles, others prefer flat, so both options are available. Okay, now let's cast with the 13.5 rod. We continue with reviewing the extra heavy feeder rods. This time I'm holding a 13.5 up to 150 grams, Doka 110 grams feeder in 34th diameter 5 cells, just to showcase how much smaller the Preston Bullet 70 grams feeder is. It is no match in capacity, one can even put one inside the other. So we loaded the feeder with bait, the total weight is 140 or even 150 grams, and we make a cast, as usual, against the annoying headwind. With a margin. Here I have a Bezier 45 reel with an 8-strand braid. winding in, and will take a heavier feeder, Doka 120 grams. We will attempt to cast it to the same distance and check against the measuring sticks. We have now changed the feeder. It is in the same 34th diameter, but the weight is 120 grams. I will now try to reach the clip and measure the distance using sticks. This feeder flew much better, as the rod's compression was optimal. I have almost lost the clip distance. Shaking out the feed, winding in, and going to the measuring sticks. Let's go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, and plus the length of the rod itself. One moment, let me fling on the braid that went loose. Well, roughly we have got 90 meters as measured by sticks, 120 grams feeder in 34th diameter.